So I'll give you fair warning. If it's a bit slow, I'll speed it up. But we'll go through. This is my Ventoy with loads of different distros. So here's Lubuntu. So there are videos about Ventoy that will show you how to use it. Very handy. Boot in normal mode. Try or install Lubuntu. Sounds like what we want to do. So I've loaded this in a virtual machine, which we may look at. That would be confusing. I'll look at the end, but we'll see what is happening. Black screen. What's it doing? Oh, here we go. Radxa's coming up. Okay, the install, from what I've just put it on a virtual machine, and I thought the install has come up and it's vastly improved from the last version, 2202 I think was the last version. Apart from the jellyfish, I quite like that. It takes a long time to change the language. But it had the standard sort of weird Ubuntu thing where it semi-installs and then you have to reinstall it, then you have to reinstall it. So the install with updates always took twice as long. This didn't seem to have any issues like that. So here you just install it. And that's all good. That's all good. That's all good. Normal installation, don't need any more than that. Don't want that. Replaces the external 4, which is him. Yep. That's going to be the new one. So you can see it's got the old version of Lubuntu on it, because I was just proving a point. And excuse my long password. I am regretting setting that as my standard. Okay, install now, and it's away. So this is the part that is going to take some time. I think what I may do is just quickly show you the virtual machine. So I'm using VirtualBox. Oh, if I pick the right mouse. So here's my VirtualBox with Ubuntu running. Here's Lubuntu running. I haven't quite worked out how to get. I accidentally set a very low graphics setting on it, so I have to deal with a little bit of a low resolution there. But LabVIEW works very nice. The interface is very familiar. This is all quite nice. So you can see it's doing its thing. Even when I rolled the scroll bar, it didn't seem to mind too much. I can't plug a serial in, but VISA is a standard sort of thing, which again I'll show you during setup. So yeah, it's been an okay exercise. And why use Lubuntu rather than Ubuntu? Well, it's very, very lightweight. So we could build an image, for example, that people could use to put on Radxas, and it'd be a very lightweight image. And it takes about 3 gig out of the image size for this virtual machine. Georgios has done a great job sort of removing all that bloat, which we don't need. But yeah, the whole... but also this new version is much less clunky looking. This is much nicer. This whole thing, everything seems to work very nicely. So yeah, I've been very impressed. So I think this is probably what we're going to work on. for the next iteration of CTI. Okay, back to our install. It's trundling along quite nicely, 44%. We'll just watch the scroll bar. Like I say, I'll probably fast forward it from here until it gets to the end. Okay, so that's ready to restart. So you can see it's quite nice and quick. In real time, that was probably about a 3-minute install. So let's just load LabVIEW. I'll show you loading LabVIEW, loading VISA. Usual stuff you need to do CTI type stuff. Oh, let's tweak that out and press enter. That's just, and that's another nice thing. It asks you to tweak the install media out, which other versions of Linux don't do very well. So generally, the whole install of Lubuntu has come on massively. I just installed 22 on this, and it's chalk and cheese, you know. And this little Radxa is the 2XL, X2L, and it is weedy. You know, it's a tiny little beast, very low power compared to the X4, which I recommend everyone get. Okay, there we are, installed. So let's go through the loading LabVIEW, installing LabVIEw process. I'll probably get asked to do updates as well at some point once it wakes up. So let's try and install stuff before it starts downloading everything. Oh, there we go. Lubuntu updates. So let's do those. I'll take them off camera or speed them up. So looks like it's checked for updates, so let's just install them. Again, nice. This is nice. I might pause the film actually rather than speed it forward and let it do its install. There she goes. Right. Just tap in the password because everything is password protected. If I can do it right. I do like this update screen. I love all this. I do like a screen that's doing the command line stuff and shows you it's doing it rather than a progress bar. I think that's a very nice touch, and I've not seen it on anything other than Lubuntu, so that's really cool. So let's do some downloading while that's doing, and then I'll stop the video because this will take a while, I would imagine. And if it finishes, I'll so ignore everything. So down, load, LabVIEW, bonk. So I'm tending now to sign into my account at the start. Accept all. It won't let you download anyway until you do, so you might as well get everything out of the way. So bear with me while I okay, so I'm getting better at putting password in. So LabVIEW for Linux Community Edition, we can download that. While that's doing that, ignore that. New tab, let's go down LabVIEW Linux drivers. Hopefully it remembers that I'm logged in. It will download both of them. Yes, it will. So Linux, Q24, just download all of them. Doesn't take very long. Oh, sometimes it gets frozen up in Firefox. So just go back, press download again, and it will sort itself out. You see, this is now what it should be doing. So to go restart download, so that's downloaded. So we've got both of our things here. So if we go into our zip file, and we'll just extract them here. So extract here and extract here. Okay. Not going to do anything now while it's updating because that's all. It will just clash with the installer. But we'll deal with that when we come back. I suppose we could download the community edition as well. So if we go github.com/LabVIEW community initiative. I always forget what that last one is, whether it's under that or it's something else. Bear with. There it is. Community training, that's what threw me. Bonk! Down she comes. Let's get started. This is what I just download this really just as a test piece, just to sort of test how a program looks in LabVIEW. It gives me a standard one. So again, we can do a bit of housekeeping while it's updating. You can see it's still going in the background. So again, we can extract here and then move it to the desktop. Get started, move it there, there we go. So that's all done. So, oh, update installation, look at that. We are on fire. I can close all that then. So that's all updates done. Everything's installed, ready to go. So let's install LabVIEW. So what you'll find in the newer version of Lubuntu, it does something quite nice, which is something I like, which is you go here and you go open in terminal. But even better than that, if you find the Linux stuff, which one is it? It's not Red Hat. It's not OpenSUSE. No, it must be that one. It's Deb, isn't it? 22, yep. So that's as near as we're going to get. So if you right click here and you go open with that one there, again, it does some of the work for you, which is very nice. And again, you get a nice. I like this. This is good user interface design. So that's done. Unfortunately, I don't think you can go the next step, which is what I would like to do in OpenSUSE. You can do it, but I'm used to this now. So now if you go sudo apt update, bang in the password yet again. Okay, that's installing. Boom, 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 nice and quick. So we go sudo apt install ni-labview-20 numlock 2024 community. Off she goes. Bonk. So that's installing, which is nice. So far I haven't done any speeding up. I may not. You may have to speed it up yourself, just so that you get the full view. Oh, actually this takes ages, so I may do. Right, let's just set the dial out then. Let's open a new terminal. We'll just do our groups and dial out while we're here. So groups, CTI, boom, 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 boom. We don't want that, so we want to go sudo g password minus I don't know all this off by heart, CTL to dial out, and that'll give us access to VISA when we install it. Bonk. And okay, so he's now added to that group, so LabVIEW can talk to VISA. You can see here dial out. Boom. So that's another sort of housekeeping task done. Right. Don't care about that anymore. It's gone. Excuse my dog. So that's LabVIEW installed. So next, let's go back up and install our device drivers. So again, we got our Ubuntu stuff here. Ooh, 2404. Hello, they've updated them to the latest version of Ubuntu, so that's cool. So we open that with our package installer. Install the package. How I wish I had a shorter password. Get better at typing it though, so that's all done. Oh, I just noticed that that's the latest, that's really cool. Sudo apt update to install all the packages. You can see it's loading loads of packages now. That's all nice. So sudo apt install ni.visa is the only thing we care about. If you've got other instruments, you will need to load other drivers. So VISA will not work until you've rebooted. That dial out permission doesn't take effect until you've logged in and logged out, essentially. You could try just logging out. Normally I reboot, so I'll try logging in and logging out and see if that actually works. It's one of those things I've said but never tested. So normally I install the hardware config utility as well, but I won't bother doing that just for this. It's not necessary. You can see as a user interface though, it's quite sprightly. I mean, that's what I like about Lubuntu. Is that it just feels purposeful and quick, and you know, so they cut out a lot of the animations and things, you know. It's got sharp edges and all the rest of it, but don't care about things like that really. Okay, so that's all done, which is nice. We're at 25 minutes real time now, just so that you know, because I'm going to fast forward bits of this. So that was VISA. I won't bother doing the hardware utility, so I'm just going to kind of show you why I'm going to do the next bit. So the next bit, if we go VISA, we search for reports, you get all this. Okay, not good. So let's log out. Hopefully that will give us our died out thing where we actually get meaningful data. It should pick up 4 UARTs on a Radxa, I think. Okay, so we've relogged back in. Let's see if this actually works. If not, we'll have to do a reboot. Yes, look at that. So that's our 4. I don't know what they all are. I need to look in the documentation and find out what all the UARTs are. I know one of them is the PICA, if I set it up correctly. So there we have it, all installed. Let's have a quick look at LabVIEW, shall we? So does it do the double click test? So if I load this, does it open up with a double click, which is something I like? Yes, it recognises that type, so that's yes, that's good. So let's activate it. So again, this is the only bit, this is Firefox or NI or something's being a bit wonky, is this. And I always think it's me typing the thing in wrong. But if I go like that, so that just sits there doing its thing, which is kind of weird. I think if I close that, that may spring into life now. Yeah. So that is not how it should actually work. It should actually work a little bit better than that. So let's double click on him again. Anyway, yes, we're in our project. So we can get rid of this top. Everything's skewed to the top. So we can do that. I was told how to do that. If you go into options, set all the path to set all the fonts to Liberation Sans. But apart from that, everything's tickety boo. So environment. Don't use default. Go to there. Go to Liberation Sans. I don't know what the minimum effort for this is. I've cut it down a little bit. I don't do the all of them, and it seemed to work. And then we do the last one. And that should, maybe on a reboot, but it should. Okay, so let's open it up again just to make sure, see if that's fixed, and if that's fixed, that'll be the end of the video. As a quick review of Lubuntu 24, yeah, that looks a bit better. Just solves just a slight ugly on the screen, so that looks okay now. Looks pretty LabVIEW-ish. Again, bear in mind this Radxa is quite weedy. A lot weedier than the X4 that I've been playing with, but you can see here that that's a drag of quite a lot of block diagram, and that worked pretty good. And you can see that's moving over in its own speed. That's quite a heavy lift. So I was going to do that for hours now. Oh no. So yeah, it's all it's quite usable. You know, I wouldn't want it to be my daily driver, but for putting code on, doing debugging and the like, it's do that. See, that's quite responsive. It's all quite nice, really. A little bit of lag, but like I say, it's a very weedy machine. I think the X4 is about 4 or 5 times faster. But Lubuntu's nice. I like it. It gets high review marks from me. And it seems to be pretty solid. I do need to do some testing to see how solid it is, so that's what I'm going to be doing next with this. But if I can get this as a standard for an image to install, and for the X4 and for the X2XL and for whatever, and for the virtual machine, I think we'll update the virtual machine for the newest versions of LabVIEW, and we'll be in a good shape. And that in real time is 31 minutes. Now I'm going to speed up some stuff, so it'll be quicker than that for you video watchers. Thank you very much.